Don't call anybody.
I forgot this background existed.
That's
Until
a
I
good
turned
way
it
to
on,
put
and
it.
I was like, I'm gonna stick with it. But I also am wondering what it looks like without it. But I don't want anybody to see how I live in this new place. So,
Yeah, that's why I always sit behind a white wall.
oh no.
Oh God.
This is a tiny place.
Yeah.
Right. This is my whole kitchen. Oh, that's my massive amount of recycling that I have to bring outside.
I got to do that too. But
And
there's like a
that's
homeless guy that walks through the
the
middle of the night
kitchen
and he like
is.
rips open our bags.
Oh dear. Well, does he at least take it all with him?
No, it's all spread around.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah. He
Oh.
doesn't need to know how many Schweppes I drink.
An exact number.
I drink like a lot of them. Not kidding, but like I drink like probably like 15 in a week.
Oh, that's so much soda.
Yeah, that's why I'm fat.
Damn. Oh, I thought Justin had seen this, but I guess not.
I'm glad that we're back.
Me too. I've been dying to do this, but
Yeah. But we'll talk about it once he gets in here.
yeah,
He's probably
there he is.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't have said anything. Let you just keep talking shit.
So he's probably playing Call of Duty.
Immediately gets up. Waiting for the audio, but hi.
There we go. Hello?
Hi.
Hey,
What's going on?
Check out how clear Abdul's connection is.
Oh, let me get to the... Wow, look at that.
hey.
Yeah, he went ahead and didn't say anything after I said that, so it just sounded like he was frozen. But he could have
I
been
can
like,
see-
"Yeah, hi," or anything to back up
Hey,
my. Yeah.
I
hello.
can see every blackhead on his nose. That's cool.
I'm fucking half a blackhead.
Oh, this is great. Cool.
Is it?
It is. I'm happy. I'm very happy.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome to the soft relaunch of Play With Yourself podcast.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, there we
The boys
go.
are back.
I still have to do all the legwork to get an RSS feedback on iTunes and stuff, but
Oh, you have to redo that?
yeah, what happened was I can re-upload everything too. I just, in order to stop paying for Podbean, I would have, like, the only thing it let me do is just delete the entire account, which is such bullshit. Like, instead of just like holding it or something.
Right, yeah.
And just because the way things were, I got real sad and wanted to kill myself, and I didn't want a recurring charge. So
That's
that felt
understandable.
like, yeah. The last thing you want is to be dead by suicide and be in the red on your checking account.
That's the way I'm gonna go.
That's the way you're gonna go. Just you're always red in your checking account, so anytime you go.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it is August 30th, 2020, and it's only been 2 weeks without Play With Yourself.
Yeah.
That would be fun if I just like, oh my god, I don't know what happened. I just forgot to keep uploading. I just have a backlog of like 30 episodes.
So, let's, for all of our new listeners, let's reintroduce ourselves.
Oh, yes. I am Justin Jackson.
I'm David
I am
Duke.
Abdul Hadi. That's our podcast, yeah.
That's right, yeah. We
I'm
just introduced ourselves.
I'm RJ McCarthy.
With each other. Yeah. Now, hold on. Why did you have to be David Duke if you were supposed to be me?
What's the difference?
I would hope a little bit. I would hope like a marginal amount of details separate us somewhat. All right. Well, lot has happened in between the last time we recorded.
Oh, hell yeah.
A lot
Yeah, but-
and nothing at the same time.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, because the only thing that really changed in my day-to-day is that we weren't doing this once a week. In the gaming world, however, things moved at light speed. I don't think it's worth it for us to try to catch up on everything. If you're even close to, savvy with that kind of stuff, you kept up on your own, dear listeners. But we'll obviously be moving forward, just taking that stuff for granted, and not reintroducing the fact that, oh my God, consoles came out, because of fucking course they did. I think when we last left off, we were very excited about them. But I don't remember, had we even seen the PlayStation yet? I don't think we did.
No,
No,
that
okay.
was in September.
Wait, we
It
hadn't
was
seen what?
the PlayStation
PlayStation.
yet. Yeah, because that was in September, and we stopped prior to that.
What do you
that-
mean saying that?
Like they
Oh,
didn't
like
reveal
the
it.
reveal,
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like we talked about that.
I do
No.
too, but for some reason,
I don't think so.
I don't think that's possible because and I'll tell you how I know. I booted up Zoom to get Abdul in here, and my background was hold on. My background was this. And the last time I had used the two black gamers making out from Black Mirror was on an episode of Hate This Podcast in August 27th, and I think we had stopped prior to that.
We did.
Huh.
Yeah.
It was like beginning of August.
Yeah.
Damn, that's crazy. We hadn't even seen the PlayStation 5 yet. It's
No,
been
we
that long.
we hopped, skipped, and leaped over all the hard stuff. So here we are now, at the height of gaming passion in the world, to just try and reap the benefits again.
That's when we come back.
That's right, yeah. Which, by the way, name a better love story, I dare you.
I still haven't
Brokeback
watched
Mountain.
any of that season.
It's the worst, but this episode, but for audio listeners, it is I don't remember which episode or what the title is, but it's where the two black friends are gay through Mortal Kombat. It's that episode.
Yeah.
That's
after you
that's a
described
modern
that
love story.
episode to me, I was like, I think I'm good because
Yeah.
it didn't even sound interesting.
Oh, dude, it is bizarre. Spoiler alert for gay black friends episode where they're gay through Mortal Kombat of Black Mirror season 3. They're kissing in this scene, and it is incredibly forced, and they realize they don't like it. They only like fucking through Mortal Kombat.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
They're like, I felt nothing. Me too. So then they go home, hop on the old game, and get right to it.
And fucking the game.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Nice.
In an Asian woman's body and an Asian man's body, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
layers.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yep. It's got all kinds of stuff going on. They don't want you kink shaming or.
Well, at that point, it's just
I am.
heterosex. So
Yeah. Yep. Very, very odd. Also, the crazy part to me about that is that no matter what, it's still a game. They had to program that in there at some level. Like, so that means like now, because like it shows a flashback of them just playing regular fighting game like Mortal Kombat. Meaning in the future, once they do like VR or like whatever brainwave Mortal Kombat, that implies that somebody on a AAA, hundreds of millions of dollar budget video game was able to sneak in an entire aspect to it where you can embrace the other player and start fucking them. That's wild. That's the most wild part about it to me.
What was that, Abdul?
It just sounded beautiful.
It is. I'm gonna get rid of them now. because otherwise it's going to be very distracting.
Homophobe.
That's right. I'm getting rid of them. All right.
Welcome back.
Yeah. Well, let's again, like, so without maybe too much retrospect, but now that we kind of sort of know where we are, let's sort of talk about maybe what we're most excited about right now. I know we're in a weird space because we haven't talked prior to the consoles coming out, and then the consoles came out like 2 weeks ago now, but let's just go into it from there. Abdul, what are you spending most of your gaming time on right now?
I just beat Miles Morales,
Okay.
and that was a decent game, but I don't know. It's just like some of the mission structures were very similar. It was like all very stealth based. Like they were trying to like get use out of his camo ability,
Yeah.
and it was like a lot of that was just reoccurring. It just felt like I was playing the same mission type over and over again. And the story is like it's very little. I feel like you can beat the game in under 10 hours. But
That's
I
what
heard,
I've heard. It's
I
very
heard it
short.
was like 6 to 7 hours.
yeah, but like it's packed with like so much side stuff that like it distracts you.
No.
But like the side stuff, all of them are kind of the same too, where it's just like one you got to go find like a weapons cache and take their tech. Do that. Or just got to spend time finding where it is. The enemy base is this like the mission structures. It's like all stealth, and you can fight if you want, but it's just like after a while, it just gets a little tedious.
How much longer is it set after the original?
A year,
Oh, that's it. Okay.
and game looks fine. The story was kind of like it starts off strong, but like towards the middle and the end,
Hold on though. You're playing it on PlayStation 5.
yeah.
It just looks fine.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, like I played it. I played Spider-Man remaster on it, and that looks phenomenal. And like the load times on that is just like instantaneous.
Mm-hmm.
It's like there's like no need for like those subway loading screens. Remember those from the Spider-Man?
I do, yeah, but I also never use the subway. Like, why in a game where it contains the most fun traversal in a video game in years would you go, oh, I'm gonna take the subway?
It's because I can, and yeah, it's fine. Some of the like it's very lacking in boss fights, and
Miles Morales.
yeah,
Uh,
and just like not a lot of them, and like the side missions are kind of But right now I'm also playing Assassin's Creed Valhalla.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
picked
we'll
it
talk
up,
about that in a minute then. Let's get to Justin though. What's taking up the most of your gaming time right now?
well, right. I just started playing Godfall last night,
Okay.
and
How
I'm like
stinky is that?
an hour and a half. It's not stinky. It's just
I'm just kidding.
it's just fucking slash to win. It's just one of those games.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's been described as a slasher looter.
Yeah, like
That's
you
how
get
Gearbox
weapon drops and it's fine. I'm gonna play through it. There's nothing exciting at all. Like I beat the first because everything just seems so easy. Because
Really?
I could not find a difficulty setting, which was weird. So the game is just what it is. But
interesting.
everything is so slow so far that you can almost never get hit if you try. Which I guess is a good design. So like that's what they want for you sometimes.
Right.
But even now, like I beat the first boss last night, and it was just like easy as hell. I was like, all right.
Yeah, it kind of takes the fun out of it.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
I'm gonna keep playing through that and see where that goes. But it just seems like a really basic game that they're trying to charge $70.
Now that is Gearbox, right? I'm not crazy.
think they're the publisher.
Yeah,
Do we know who developed it? Was it anybody we would know?
I'm not sure. I have no idea.
I also didn't know Gearbox published Counterplay Games. I've never heard of them.
No.
Yeah, same here.
Yeah, I don't know if they
It's-
have any other notable games or anything. I'm
It's
trying
just
to look it up right now.
it's just weird because like just like PS4's launch, like who developed Knack, you know? Like
Mm,
they just get these like small companies to develop these like the launch titles, and it just kind of
yeah.
they're always nobodies. I feel like
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just somebody that, because I mean, it was probably a game that was in development prior. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't know if Godfall. I'm pretty sure it's PlayStation 5 exclusive, right? So like not
Yes.
cross-gen at all.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, so that maybe they had more push with that one to not. There's probably more incentive for them to release it to such a narrow, select demographic.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Unlike, you look at all the other games that came out in the launch window, like even Bug Snacks was on PS4 and PS5, so that it can.
Is that on PS4? I didn't know that.
It is, yeah,
Is
it
it?
is,
Oh.
but it's like $25, I think. Whereas PS5, it's the first PlayStation Plus PS5 exclusive, so it's the first game
Right.
that they have for that that you can download for free. Which you played that too, right?
Yeah, I played through that. It only, like, as you know, it only took me like 2 days to completely finish everything.
That's awesome.
But it's a surprisingly good game. Like
Yeah.
once I started playing through it, it's still weird. It's just as weird as you remember like those videos being,
Mm.
but it's just fun. It's
Cool.
pretty much a Pokemon game in a way,
Really?
where
Mm.
you catch the bug snacks or whatever, and then you can feed them to, like, there's just like a village of these grumbles or whatever they're called.
Grumbles.
Grumbles, yeah.
Mhm.
But like what surprised me about the game is like it's just like society commentary, but not in like throwing it in your face or just like I
Mhm.
don't know, it's like overdoing it. Like being
Sure.
like an example I can give is like when games are just too woke. Like we talked about Red Dead Redemption 2, where it's just like,
Yes.
oh, everybody just loves black people. Like what? Like this?
Yeah.
No, it's bullshit or whatever. Arthur does not have 3 black friends. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
he's knifing dudes for $4, but meanwhile he's like, "How dare you comment on the color of his skin?"
Exactly. But like this one is like there was like gay relationships. It was weird. Like it was like
Okay.
these like silly characters, but
Felt
They
a little
just com-
forced.
they talked about just normal shit, which was like interesting, you know?
Mhm.
Well, they had
wasn't
like
like-
fruit hands.
Dude, like you could turn
Oh, that'd be so funny. Just scissoring with 2 hamburger vaginas.
like I
so
made
mustard everywhere.
This is the
Like, you could-
relaunch, guys. We got to keep it clean.
but no, it was a fun game because like each bug snack you couldn't catch the same way. Like you got like different devices through the game, like traps and nets and all of this shit. To like
Okay. Yeah, I heard it's kind of
get
like a puzzle to catch the specific ones.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, okay.
And it was fun. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Did you try it at all, Abdul?
Actually, no.
Did you download it at least?
Yeah, I did. But I've been Justin. You've been playing that Astro's Playroom.
I played it the first day just to get like all the controller tech. See how
Yeah, that was
feels.
fun as hell.
Is the whole game fun?
Yeah.
I knew this would kind of be the case with Abdul, like being really appreciative of it, because it's full of just like the most autism tickling references throughout.
I thought we were doing a reboot.
we are. You're right. I'm sorry. It's not a mark against you. It's just like I figured you would be like, I understand that, like the entire time, because it's supposed to like just be like self-referential to Sony and PlayStation.
Yeah,
the
it was,
entire
yeah.
time. Yeah, and you probably got like most of the references, if not all.
All.
Yeah. Oh, that's great.
But like also just playing Demon Souls,
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah.
fucking,
Cool.
it's everything I wanted it to be. It's fucking
Awesome.
10 out of 10. Yeah, because it's the original game, just like made beautifully. You know, like they
Awesome.
didn't touch too much about it. They changed a couple of mechanics, but other than that, it
Like
doesn't
what?
feel the roll mechanic. Like they made it. I guess it was only 4-way in the original game, but now it's 8-way.
Really?
Yeah.
That is archaic as shit.
Yeah.
That's a good update.
Yeah, but other than that, it's fucking awesome.
Cool.
And it's
Hell
gonna
yeah.
take me a while to get through that, which I'm happy with, because
Good.
there's really nothing else until Cyberpunk, you know.
Oh God, I know. We'll get to
Fingers
that
crossed.
later too. I from the get-go I've been playing well, so like my goal is I have an Xbox. That's what differs me from the two of you.
Mhm.
For people who don't know.
I mean, that's the only thing that differs you.
That's right. Everything else is completely the same. We're all named David Duke and in the KKK.
Yes.
um so I wanted to be like, okay, Game Pass, great. Gears of War, show it to me. I mean, I wanted to skip it because I heard it was kind of crappy, but the fourth one I went and watched a YouTube supercut of.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, so I just like was already caught up, and I was like, boom, Gears of War 5. It's got the Series X optimization. Let's get into it. And I did start playing that. But one thing I think I found, and I think maybe I'll touch on this more later when we actually talk about the systems. I'm so particular with these new systems now that like I don't know if I have the right settings or not, and I can't stop tweaking them. Like it's just a nonstop.
To make it look better.
Yes, like on the television and from the console, I'm going back and forth with all this stuff. So Gears kind of freaked me out because I never felt like it was actually 60 FPS. Even though I think it's just my eyes got too used to it. So I was seeing it as maybe more sluggish than it was. And then that carried over to what I've been emptying all of my time into, and that's Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Have not played an Assassin's Creed game since the third one. And that was like 2012, I think. Yeah.
There's been 18 since
I know.
then, so.
I just checked out.
Is it really? Wow.
Yeah, dude. It's been like so there's 3, 4 Black Flag. Then, and I'm only gonna go through the mainline ones. Unity, Syndicate, Origins, maybe.
Revelations.
No, that's a spinoff.
Oh, that's
one.
okay.
Yeah, because that was a spinoff of the Ezio game. I have played all of those. I've played 1, 2, Ezio's 2 spinoffs, Brotherhood and Revelations, and 3. And those are all in basically what I would say is the Desmond Miles verse, where he's the main character and you're going through his ancestors. Shit got wacky after the third one, and now there's all kinds of people that are going in the Animus, and it's all nonsense.
Is Odyssey a spinoff?
Odyssey, no, because it's technically a mainline game, because what they decided, like once they started doing the subtitled versions, so you had Unity, which was supposed to be a co-op Assassin's Creed. They all tried to like push like some new, mechanic and like, just bank on more money every year. But the problem is it's a sprawling open world game, and they were releasing them every fucking year. It just doesn't work. So I think it was around Syndicate they stopped, and they're like, we're only doing every 2 years. So they went back to the drawing board, and they forced like a more RPG approach to it.
On Odyssey, you're talking about?
With Origins. Origins was like the first of the, Ubisoft took a page out of our book and went back in time and did a soft relaunch of Assassin's Creed. Yeah, they saw like, wow, this soft relaunch is really good for Play With Yourself podcast. We should do that. Spent $80 million on a time machine, went back, and then did that.
Yeah, that
Which
makes
sucks
sense.
because now the timeline split and we lost all those really awesome, terrible yearly Assassin's Creed releases we had in that other timeline.
Yeah.
But in that timeline, we also had super coronavirus. So it's good that it's gone.
Yeah.
No, but so it was Origins in 2016, I think, and then Odyssey in 2018. So now that brings us to Valhalla this year, and I really considered going back and playing the other ones, and I'm glad I didn't. There's the overarching story is so pointless. There's nothing to it.
If you would have gone back and played the other ones, it probably would have ruined your experience with this one. Because
Yes,
the thing about those games, like I haven't played it since like they changed it, but they burn you out so much, man.
dude.
True,
I used to like really get like excited about the prospect of playing an entire series end to end, and I realize now that is not the way to do it because you get burnt out no matter what.
Yeah, you don't even care about the characters towards the end.
Right, yeah, that's why I decided to just watch the YouTube video to get the story of Gears 4, because it's like Gears of War has the oldest, most simple fucking gameplay of like any shooter that like they've not fucking improved on anything in like the 14, 15 years that Gears of War has been around. The fifth one plays exactly like the first one.
That's crazy.
And I mean, you know, don't fix what ain't broke. I get it.
Right.
It's like the first 3 God of Wars.
Yeah, I mean, it's just for me, it's just junk food. You know what I mean? Like I'm cool. I love shooters. I missed Gears so much, being on PlayStation the last 5 years, and kind of feeling envy over Gears 4, and then of course 5, which is actually good.
Is it?
I haven't finished it, but I like it a lot. The story's self-aware without being too cheesy, and also like actually pretty well written at times. So I definitely enjoy it.
Nice.
Yeah, and then I stopped only because I had gotten Assassin's Creed, which came late, and I'd wanted it. So I I decided to just jump into that because I was in that like new video game kind of like manic mode. Like I don't know if you guys felt that or anything.
I did, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so I went to that, and then I just haven't been able to tear myself away. It's too fucking good, dude.
Yeah, I just started it.
Valhalla, you talking about?
I can't say enough good things about it. I can't say enough bad things about it too. It's got a lot of drawbacks. But it's so fucking like there's so many things it does so well. The best game I could compare it to is The Witcher 3. It is like they took that as a template for this game and just built everything out around that while making it an Assassin's Creed game. It's pretty wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm digging what I like so far.
If it's... I might just get it from GameFly. If it's not super cheap this coming like month, you know?
Do not buy it right away.
What?
No.
Let me give you this caveat. It is
I hear it's just buggy as fuck.
Yeah. It's one of the best games and it reminds me why Assassin's Creed is such a great series, but also why I will never buy them day one again. It is only something you get punished for. To give you like I don't know if you guys watched that Digital Foundry video. Those guys are incredible. That's like the best.
No, I didn't get it. I didn't watch that.
Watch it at some point. It's really good. They directly compare. They do a 1-to-1 comparison of Assassin's Creed on PS5 and Xbox One X, or I'm sorry, Xbox Series X. And the interesting thing is that PS5, a weaker system on paper, is outperforming it like only marginally, but still every single step of the way. And
oh, really?
Yeah. So what? And it has the same actual like bugs, but not the same necessarily performance bugs. So like any of the, and it's, I think it all lays with the developers and not the actual systems themselves. But I have constant, and I mean constant screen tearing on Xbox.
Really?
Yeah. And you guys are, you remember screen tearing from like, I haven't actually experienced it on a home console since Fallout 3 on my 360 in like 2009.
Describe screen tearing, because I
So,
think I know what you mean.
Yep. So it's where sort of sections of the screen in like almost strips, either big, small, varying in size, but definitely from top to bottom, will move sort of a half step behind the other ones and like
Okay,
catch
yeah.
up. That's
Yeah,
where
yeah.
it like so that the screen's actually out of sync and it's tearing. And the reason that normally happens is if the game is running at at like a higher frame rate than the TV is able to handle, or if there's just any other kind of miscommunication between the display and the output of the game on the system. So if you tried to like manually put a game into 120 FPS and it was only like a 60 hertz TV, you're gonna get that kind of jankiness.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, so and if you're closely monitoring, Abdul, you will notice a little bit, I think, on PS5, but not to
Yeah,
the
I've noticed a
degree
little
that.
bit, yeah, but it's like none where it's just like, oh wow, like it would
Oh,
just.
for me, it's like near constant in some areas, but then other areas it's great. But I notice it's usually in like really like dense and intense cutscenes or really really I guess dense levels as well. So like anything there's a lot going on, it's kind of the same instance where you'd find an actual frame rate drop. Is where I think that it would be occurring. Just
Like,
a reminder, we
like,
got a 7 minutes or so before we gotta redo the meeting.
okay. Like graphical issues aside, does it, for both of you guys, does it look next gen?
It looks amazing.
It does,
And
yeah, I will
that
say.
is what I did want to talk about. It's definitely when it's in 60 FPS, it's in 60 FPS, and I know it's dynamic 4K, so it's not always true 4K, but it still looks great, dude. Here I am looking at the fucking pores on the skin of this character model as I'm in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the HDR's so great, the fucking lighting and everything.
Did you choose
Just
a man or a woman?
so there's an option to let the animus decide,
Yeah.
and I did that, but it's just a woman, and I'm not sure what the add-on is to that. I don't want to spoil anything because there's been some wacky shit to happen, but we'll revisit that. We'll put a pin in Assassin's Creed and come back to it later on after you've played more of it, because I have my Xbox now gives me the readout of the time played, which is very rude, and I'm up to like almost 40 hours now. So I'm pretty deep in it, with also still not scratching the fucking surface. It's way too big, way too long.
Yeah, the game's like the map is fucking huge.
It's insane, and there's way too many fucking icons on it.
Yeah.
That's
It's
the thing I hate
overwhelming.
about Assassin's Creed is like you open that map, you're just like all this shit just sitting there. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck do you do?
Yeah, it's like it's taunting you. It's like, look at what you'll never do, but don't worry, the final achievements
But
are locked behind spending hours of your life looking for a fucking piece of paper.
but you had a good comparison because the very first time I played The Witcher, I had the same thought. I was like,
Yeah.
all these fucking side quests and
Yeah, and some
icons
of them
on
take
the
like
map.
30.
It's crazy.
And so what I'm gonna do now, I think, being it's an open world game, you can actually choose to turn off all the like the master overall icons, and it'll only show you what's like within a certain radius of you. And I
Okay.
think that's the way to go, because then you don't feel overwhelmed or like you have to, sprint 540 meters to whatever this little green dot is or whatever, you know.
Yeah.
So, let's I know we just kind of started it, but let's put a pin in it. for system comparisons, because
Okay.
this is what I've been most excited to talk about though. But it is going to cut us off in a few minutes here because you're still not going to catch me paying for Zoom. So we'll talk about that, and then we can get into what our favorite news stories were, maybe this past week or something like that.
Okay.
And then I know we're chomping at the bit to get into excuse me, topics, which we have some good ones this week, folks.
We do.
I spent some mental energy on them, whole 2 minutes. So
Nice.
we'll have some good ones. But I would also like, I guess, to be clear, I kind of want to see maybe what your final verdict is. I know it's going to be biased because you only have one system. Same with me.
Right.
But I think it'd be nice to be objective. So if there's anything that does, I guess, disappoint you is maybe too strong of a word. We'll go into
I got
that.
what you mean. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So
Little
let's.
gripes.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly. So let's cut it early and then reconvene in 5. How's that?
All right. Cool.
I'm gonna go poop.
All right.
Ah.
All right. Yeah, it's just a tiny little thumbnail of your handsome little face.
Aw.
There we go.
Ooh. Oh, nice. Is that
Fucking-
your platinum of bug snacks?
It is.
That's awesome. That's
You
great.
Fucking overachiever.
I dig that. Overachiever to platinum, what is potentially a very easy platinum, I would assume. Not to
Very
diminish
easy.
your accomplishment, but still.
No, it was very easy.
Okay. That tracks. Okay, so we're already recording. Might as well get right into it if I can find the son of a bitch and stuff. Let's dig into some notable news. That's
All right.
yeah. It's gonna take me a while to figure out what these segments should be called, but that corny placeholder is good for now. There's a couple things that I know wowed me this week.
Yeah, I'm excited for.
No,
Go ahead.
yeah, start if you want, please.
Oh, it's IO Interactive's James
Yeah.
Bond game.
That was going to be one of the first ones. I thought that was crazy.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that IP.
Yeah, very very fun thought here. There was I wish I couldn't remember his username, so unfortunately I can't credit him. But he there's a Reddit user who they were talking about IO Interactive and what their next project might be, and he called it perfectly to a T. And he didn't even call it. He was like, "Oh, it'll never happen, but I would love for them to do a James Bond game, perfectly within their sort of gameplay style, that more toned down sort of espionage element to James Bond."
Right.
And he just wrote this big whole long comment, and then all of a sudden, the next day, IO Interactive. Yeah, I mean, you got to be so goddamn happy when that happens.
Yeah, it's I'm imagining all the set pieces that they're gonna do and
Yeah.
all that.
Oh, I mean, I'll play that without question. I mean,
It's the last James Bond game I played was Bloodstone. You ever played that one?
no, I've never even
No.
heard of it.
The
It's
last one I played was on fucking PS2.
Was it Rogue Agent?
No, it was Tomorrow Never Dies. Wait, that was fucking N64. I think
Oh,
Tomorrow
damn.
Never
Yeah.
Dies.
Yeah, I
that's
had
the
that.
last
Yeah.
I had that
one.
one on PS1.
Oh,
Yes, it
okay,
is.
yeah.
Yeah, I was it was that age I was at though where I still didn't know how to play video games, so I'd never actually finished one. And I would just get stuck at the same parts anytime I went in to play it. And I distinctly remember, and will always remember the opening scene, I think, of Tomorrow Never Dies, where you're skiing and all that. Does that ring a bell?
Yeah.
Yeah,
There was the skiing level, and then you get down to the base where you have to destroy the satellites, and all it's saying over and over again is paint the target, paint the target, paint the target. And that is drilled into my brain because I never figured out how to paint the fucking target.
Right.
So I'll always remember that. That one was fun. But I played my favorite one was Goldeneye Rogue Agent on PS2.
Oh my god,
Yeah.
that was a good
yeah.
one.
I didn't play that one.
Oh, it's wild, man. You play as like a bad guy. And I'm pretty sure you like kill James Bond at the beginning of it.
Well, that was through like a VR mission, and they say like you're not like double O up to double O standards, and you get recruited by Goldfinger himself. I know too much about this one.
I mean, I knew at the time, so I'm not judging you.
You actually like James Bond though, don't you, Abdul?
Yeah, I really do.
Do you?
Yeah. I would play the game, but dude, those movies are unwatchable to me. I can't watch them.
I disagree. I love them, man.
Casino Royale was sick. Everyone
I know
after
you disagree.
that has been Casino Royale was sick. Everyone after that has been a snooze fest. I don't care for it. Like even Skyfall that everyone said was like it's a return to form. It's incredible.
It wasn't really return to form.
I fell asleep. Mike got real mad at me. Mike loves James Bond.
Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, it's just very boring to me.
Yeah, I wish like that if they were gonna do it, they'd be like, okay, here's a true return to form, and then it's just like some guy doing a Sean Connery impression, and he's just talking about beating women all the time.
In front of Barbara Walters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's just like she could use a good schmack. Damn. That would be fun.
Yeah, but I'm excited for that.
Because like my age of James Bond started with Pierce Brosnan, and yeah, it was just
Me too.
He's already barely watchable on film to me, but yeah, just like James Bond overall, it's just
I like the older stuff like Diamonds Are Forever is one of my favorites.
I can't watch any of the old ones. I don't know why. I literally am the same boat as Justin. Started with the Pierce Brosnan Goldeneye, loved that game, and then just went from there. So I grew up with Pierce Brosnan as Bond, and it didn't get weird until Die Another Day. Do you guys remember that one?
Yeah.
And
is that a Pierce Brosnan one?
Yes, it was his last one.
Uh-huh.
And then he's just like, because he was like older at that point, and he's like pulling in. What was that?
That had to be Abdul's house then.
Yeah, there was a car that went by.
You farted, whatever.
They driving go-karts over there?
They're driving really stinky asses and just farting down to your lab.
You said this was a reboot.
I'm sorry, it is. Well, the Die Another Day was so weird because like James Bond, like he like pulled in Halle Berry. And he was like fucking Halle Berry, but he's like a 74-year-old man, and it's like obvious he's like not like in shape. Like he's not like he just like has like an old guy's body, and he's just like laying there without a shirt, like caressing Halle Berry's pussy. And then you're just like, this is not believable.
Grunting all the time.
Yeah,
that was like prime Halle Berry too.
Yeah. Oh my god. And then, but like the twist in that movie was so funny because the bad guy had like facial reconstruction surgery, so he went from he was North Korean. Man. Yeah, he looked like Kim Jong-un, and then all of a sudden he's just this like white bread British guy because he had reconstruction surgery.
And he had like a voice modulator and everything. Yeah.
That was when I was like, oh, these movies are bullshit. Gotcha. Whatever, though.
Damn, after that, Halle Berry went from fucking Pierce Brosnan on film to fucking Billy Bob Thornton.
Oh,
you remember that movie? Monsters Ball?
Oh.
Yeah. Can you make me feel good?
Oh, so gross.
That had to be prior to Die Another Day.
No,
Die Another Day, I think, was like 05 or something crazy like that.
Oh, shit, you might be right.
Really?
Yeah, I'll look it up right now just to satisfy our curiosity. But I think Die Another Day was post Monsters Ball.
And I think Catwoman was too.
Yes, it certainly was.
What a career.
Oh, Die Another Day was 2002, but I still think
Monster Ball was
Monster-
after that. Then.
It's 2004.
no,
Monster
2001 for Monsters Ball.
Ball?
Oh, really?
Yep.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That's
That was a
crazy.
good year.
Yep.
That was a good year.
God, I love doing this video game podcast with you guys. Already falling back. That's okay. That's part of the reboot. We just go off on
We go back to our old ways.
yeah. We do video games, and then we do Halle Berry's filmography from memory. That's every episode. Okay, so let's get into the meat of what we. Oh no, we were still doing news stories. I'm sorry. Been a minute.
No,
all right?
that was. I mean, I thought we could have moved on, but that's okay.
No.
Did you guys have anything else?
Yes, actually, I
Okay.
did. If you don't have anything, that's fine. We can just do this and then get out of there.
The funniest news story I heard about was that's the thing like people in Toronto getting robbed trying to sell PS5s. That was awesome because it's like fucking Canada. Like
Yeah, the most nicest people.
PS5 has gotten Canadians fucking turned them into savages.
Sorry, no scalpers, eh?
That's
shit.
amazing.
Yeah, that's been kind of frustrating. I mean, like, I feel bad because we were all like crazy lucky to all get a launch day system.
I know,
for
yeah.
real.
Like on launch day too. That's the wildest
Yeah.
part to me. Like I thought for sure Abdul's PS5 wouldn't get here till like next week. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But lo and behold.
yeah. I got lucky as fuck, man.
Yeah, you did.
I mean, not for lack of effort though. That was like maybe half
it
luck.
it was a lot of effort, but
Yeah.
I
still.
imagine like a hacker, like was like Target, like Walmart, Best Buy up. As soon as you get in your cart, you just go, I'm in.
Yeah. Doot, doot. Well, I got a real banger here that I found early this morning. Red Dead Redemption, the Outlaws collection for PlayStation 5 has leaked. At least the existence of it. It has no release date yet, but the Amazon page leaked. I'll send you guys a link. It looks like it could be fake. But I mean, there's really no way to tell, I guess. And the most interesting part about it is, I mean, obviously it's supposed to be the remastered version of Red Dead 2, but also Red Dead 1. And the description specifically states the following. Play through the story of Arthur Morgan, lead enforcer of the notorious Vanderlyn gang, and former outlaw John Marston, featuring a range of visual and technical enhancements, including ray tracing, faster loading. Immerse yourself in the faithful, expanded remake of Red Dead Redemption, inspired by the iconic 2010 original.
Yeah, I was wondering if they're going to remaster it or remake it.
Now, yeah, and that's interesting to me because I'm wondering, have they had enough time to put that level of effort into it? They could remake the entire game in the same update
engine, yeah.
I mean, it's always been the same engine, but just with all the enhancements that Red Dead 2 brought, you could technically, if they added Mexico, just play the first game after the second one.
Right.
You know
it's
what
like
I mean?
one long. That's gonna be long as fuck.
That would be pretty fucking cool, man. I mean,
what? It's gonna take me 3 years.
Yeah, well, yeah, your pace, yes.
Action.
I mean, it took you 15 months to play Red Dead Redemption 2.
Man, it took me what? 5 months to beat it?
No, I just said 15.
Oh.
What are you talking about?
Oh, never mind. I was thinking something else. Never mind.
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty dope. And something like I know maybe it's gross, but I would pay full price for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I really just want that. I want 60 FPS or ray tracing on Red Dead 2. I'd love that option. And And then, to get a whole nother remake of Red Dead 1 would be fucking insane. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Like
that's
that.
yeah.
that's what I was hoping they would do with the Mass Effect 1. That needs a remake. I
Yeah,
don't
dude,
know about
I'm excited
just
for.
Yeah.
remastering that.
What was it? A few weeks ago, they were talking because they did announce that they
The
Yeah.
acknowledged
Legendary
its
Edition, yeah.
existence. But I'm wondering what that's going to end up being, because if
Yeah.
it's not at least with the same Mass Effect 2 mechanics, it's kind of a letdown to me. I can't replay the first one. I've played it 3 times, and it's so archaic, dude. Like,
Dude, like I feel like it needs a remake
mhm.
because the fucking Mako missions are just like
Yeah.
just fucking
Ooh.
get rid of that shit, man.
For real. And
Scanning those planets, good lord, man, that was
it's
the
so
fucking
long.
worst.
It
Yeah.
is. It's like, ugh. I mean, and honestly, like, it doesn't even, like, if they don't want to remake it, that's fine. Like, it doesn't, by itself, it doesn't necessarily need to be done just so we can play it again. Like, it exists. If you want to play it, go play it.
Right.
But if they're going to re-release it, then it absolutely needs to be a remake, because
Yeah,
a simple
for real.
remaster is not fucking anything anybody should pay any money for. Like,
No, hell no.
absolutely not. Like,
Because I mean, that game was amazing, especially for the time. Like
mhm.
I
Oh,
was
hell
like,
yeah.
like this shit is incredible.
Yeah, utterly
That
wild.
has got to have aged poorly.
Oh yeah, I think Mike was which again, soft reboot, reintroduce Mike Sloan, a friend of the podcast and occasional guest, and all around piece of shit. We hate him.
He's fucking he's flying to Japan right now in his simulator. Leave him
That's
alone.
right. Yeah. But
Damn.
I do reference him because I talk video games with him. But I guess he replayed it a while ago. And I can't remember what his thoughts were, but I mean, it's unchanged. I don't know how you can get through it. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah.
Ugh.
That was at my buddy Andy's house, and he started the first Mass Effect for the first time, and
Mhm.
boy, it looked it's an eyesore.
It
Yeah,
has
man.
to be ugly as fuck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, because 2007 me was fucking floored. Like,
Yeah, I was all over that shit.
yeah, but I can't imagine going back to it 13, 14 years later. Ugh.
No.
Yeah.
No, thank
Stinky.
you. Yeah. Well, let's I know we didn't do too much news, but that's okay. Let's talk about the systems.
Hell yeah.
How Justin, how you loving it?
I like it a lot. I love
Mhm.
how fast everything is, and dude, the fucking controller is incredible. Like
Hell yeah.
we heard all the shit about it and like how cool it sounded,
Mhm.
but they hype shit up because we
Right.
all thought 6-axis was gonna be so cool too. Then it just went back to fucking DualShock. But this controller is it's the best feeling controller
Yeah, I have to agree.
I've ever had. Yeah.
That's cool.
And then like on top of like all of the cool shit it does, like the haptic feedback, it's cool. Like especially in Demon Souls, like if you don't necessarily get hit with something, if it hits the ground next to you, you can kind of feel it. Like you could like
Mhm.
you would feel it like the force of like a firebomb hitting next to you.
It's
It's
just
like
very localized as far as
yeah. It's
that's
like
cool.
very subtle feedback, and the triggers, like if you pull a bow and arrow, you can like it feels like you're pulling a string. It's
Mhm.
crazy the shit that it does.
So
Yeah.
does that feel like solid and reliable? Like that doesn't feel like something that's gonna like, because you know what I mean? Like in your head, like when you think about it, because I haven't ever used one, it's sort of like that's a lot of mechanics going on. I'd be worried about, all the particular pieces inside of it. But does it actually feel like something fragile?
No,
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
no. The overall, that's what I'm like. The controller, it just feels fucking durable. Like
Nice.
Yeah,
it's got a nice weight to it. Like all of the
Mhm.
buttons don't feel flimsy or anything. It's just
Yeah.
like it's a perfect controller in my
That's
opinion.
great.
But I hear the
It's
real test, which I wasn't gonna play it, but now I am. Is I hear Black Ops does really cool shit with the adaptive triggers and feedback
Yeah,
and
it's
I
like
all
heard
of
some
that
that.
weapons.
too.
What's that?
It's like with some weapons.
Yeah, I guess aim down sights feels different whether you have a SMG or an LMG. Like if you
Hmm.
have an LMG, it feels like the aim down sights feels heavier, and
Hmm.
each time you shoot the gun, it recoils on the right trigger, depending on what gun you're shooting too.
That's cool.
Like
That's awesome.
I have to try that. Like I
Yeah.
was gonna skip this game, but I was like,
I
I'll play through single player with that. You know?
so from my perspective, just to interject on that, because I didn't get it, so I didn't think it was worth talking about. But Black Ops is, from what I'm hearing, an absolute skip right now. At
That's
That's
least,
what
what
I
I've
heard
heard too.
too.
especially on Xbox, because so like
Oh yes, I know what you're about to talk about.
it's been crashing Xboxes.
To the point where they turn
They
off.
turn off. It happened to my cousin. Like, and he was so like perplexed, like he actually like called me, which he never does. But I mean,
Yeah.
if I was freaking out about my precious new Xbox, I might be calling people I don't normally call.
Right.
Uh, yeah, and it just sounds all around bad. Like I've heard people like writing up on it, like half the modes don't fucking work. The ones that
Oof.
do, either the connection's bad, or like once you get in the game, then like things start to get too buggy. And I would normally be like, well, it's a new release, but they charged you an extra $10 for that.
Right. Yeah.
Where's that extra money going when the game's still 200 fucking gigs? Your gameplay is all
Yeah.
over the map. And another fun point about Black Ops specifically that I did not know is that it was actually a sledgehammer year for Call of Duty. So the company that made World War II primarily back in 2017, it was
Hmm.
their turn to do a Call of Duty. Something happened and they had to back out, which made it so that Treyarch had to move up their development cycle a year and do a Black
Ah.
Ops. So this game also is not running on the new Modern Warfare engine. It's running on the old one.
Oh, you can fucking tell.
Yeah.
Like when I played the beta for it or the alpha, whichever it was, I was like, yeah, why does this look like a PS3 game? Like it just something seemed really off about it, and I just
Yeah.
hated the way it played. It felt slower than Modern Warfare, and I was like it just didn't feel like it was a better game. You
All
know?
that,
'Cause-
all that, and they're releasing it for $70 fucking dollars.
right,
Yeah, it's just
exactly.
fucking
That,
bonkers.
and I'm not like a big like boycott person where it's like, well, like, because like my
I am.
particular dollars don't matter. I figured you are. But like this is one like I want, but I cannot justify buying for more than what I think should be MSRP for games still.
Yeah.
Like that's
True,
fucking
yeah.
insane.
It's
So
just ridiculous, yeah.
yeah, a little side tracked, but that was my 2 cents on Black Ops.
Yeah. What do you think about it, Abdul? The PS5.
You hit a lot of stuff that I was going to talk about, but again, that controller, it's so damn good. It's like playing Miles Morales, like swinging. You can feel the pull of each like web string, and like going through the air and jumping. You feel like the wind going through you. It feels so good. And like in
Yeah.
combat, like you feel the punches and everything. And like what he does is like well, that's not a spoiler. You see, it's like electricity power.
Right.
It's like you feel the controller like little like vibrate a little bit when he uses it, and like that is so fucking cool. And playing
Yeah.
that like that Astro Playroom, like having like all like using like the controller to its full potential, it felt so good.
Yeah.
So
Go ahead.
I was just no, finish your thought and then we'll go. I was trying
No,
to
I
move
was
on
gonna say
from.
like a little bit of the Astros Playroom is like it's still like the controller still has a speaker on it.
Hmm.
It feels like a little better, like it's a little more enhanced because at one point like the characters jump into your controller and you can like
Shake
barely.
him up, yeah.
Yeah, you can hear like shake them up, and you can hear them like rattling around in the controller, but like it's
Huh.
just sound, and
Yeah.
feedback. It's
I
pretty
was
cool.
cheesing like a motherfucker when I saw felt
That's
that.
pretty cool.
Yeah.
So, how does that feel in your ass?
Oh, fucking
Amazing, my
awesome!
God.
Yeah.
God.
You
I
should.
always wanted a tiny little robot rattling around in my ass. So,
The controller handles. It looks like it fits perfectly in someone's
oh,
ass.
perfect. I
Actually,
don't like the
yeah.
white color though. I feel like that'll show stains.
Yeah.
Well, easier to
It's
clean.
like-
You can
That's
see them.
true. That's true.
yeah, well,
So moving away
it's a
from the
tinge of brown.
controller and pulling it out of our ass, what modes do you find your guys self like? I actually before I jump into that, what kind of TVs do you guys have? Do you have 4K
Dude,
TVs?
I don't think this
I
one
don't.
is.
No, I don't.
Okay, so have you been like mainly going into performance mode versus fidelity mode?
I switched it to everything defaults to performance.
Okay,
The-
yeah, so you get that 60
Yeah.
FPS in exchange
Yeah.
for like which you probably wouldn't even notice too much because of I think the only thing you'd lose out on is ray tracing because ray tracing you can see in 1080. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
how about you, Abdul? Which one have you been airing towards?
Oh, the same with Justin. Just like the
Performance.
yeah.
Okay.
Something
And
like. Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead. You go ahead.
Well, there's an option on the PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's on Xbox. You can speak on it, but there's like system defaults
Mm-hmm.
for all your like in any game you put in the system.
Mm-hmm.
So like if you like subtitles, there's something inside the like a menu inside the PS5 where every game you put in is going to automatically turn on subtitles.
Oh, what a nice quality of life thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
right.
sure that
It's like
spreads out to like other settings as well, right?
right. It's a bunch.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of different settings where if you like them in your games, it automatically sets them as default.
See,
So,
man,
like,
those are the little things that are like that make you feel like, oh, this is a next gen system. You know what I mean?
So
Yeah.
like I put
There's
in
like I remember you
Godfall and subtitles were already right there. I was like,
Awesome.
fucking perfect.
Yeah.
What
Remember
were
it
you
was
gonna
like
say, Abdul?
where you turn on the PlayStation, it had the ability to read out what it says to you. It had like that like Microsoft Sam voice reading what's on like the screen to you.
Wait,
Remember?
on PS5 or 4?
5.
Oh, I don't know what that is.
But did you
Where it's
turn
like
on narration for the blind?
yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like that. It's just like it's reading to you what the words are on the screen are.
So you're just speaking to like the accessibility of it?
Yeah, I think that's really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Xbox has that too. I think that's like you kind of like have to have that, which like you know what, I'm just going to keep my
Uh-oh.
opinion to myself on that one. No more needs to be said.
Yeah.
That's cool.
They're gamers too.
I find that so that's not a feature on Xbox, and I have to manually go in and change the settings. But the interesting thing is, when it comes to the games that I have played, only one of them in particular, because the other one I did play, I forgot, was Jedi Fallen Order. That's on Game Pass.
Right. Yeah.
And I mean, it's a different game with the
That it looked good before, but yeah, I can imagine that looking really fucking awesome.
dude.
Now.
I mean, I don't even have it on 4K. I just put it into performance mode. So those 60 frames change everything. Automatically, a game that I was like, this combat is laggy and doesn't really make sense. I know exactly when to parry now. I know, like it all just tracks. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just clicks. And you know, I mean, obviously it looks great in the 4K too, but like with an actual update, I can't imagine what that game will look like because this is all just based on the Xbox's algorithm of upscaling it.
Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I have I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, I mean, I was just saying like, but I have to find that I'm manually going into every game to change that stuff. And what I found is of the 3 big AAA games I've played, like Jedi Fallen Order, Gears 5, and Assassin's Creed, excuse me, only Jedi Fallen Order had the output performance or image difference. I could not
Okay.
get that setting. Gears of War is locked at 60, and so is Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed that's frustrating because of the performance issues it has with the screen tearing and all that. But I do think that like I'm spoiled now and I can't play games in less than 60 anymore.
You got bougie.
Yeah, dude. I mean, you see the difference. Like, it's
Yeah, you do,
incredible.
yeah.
Like, how we just like dealt with 30 FPS for years, and
Yeah, you can't go back to that.
I know, and you know it's gonna happen. Like, Cyberpunk already announced that out of the gate, it's gonna be running at 30 FPS, which like,
Stinky.
what? Yeah, I'm not fucking buying it. Like, that's not worth it.
Yeah.
If I can't run that in 60 FPS in exchange for like some visual fidelity, I don't want it. Like, it's not why I'm getting the game.
Exactly.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's making me want to fire or download, since you can download it now, God of War again, because I know that probably looks fucking awesome.
Yeah. That would probably be sick as hell.
Yeah.
I mean, you said Ghost was incredible. I mean, like,
yeah.
Oh yeah, that looked
can't imagine.
like fucking awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, I have Control, and I'm like excited to see what that looks like.
That's like going to be a different game too.
Yeah, because how buggy it was on fucking PS4.
Oh, dude.
It's like I'm excited to play it.
Yeah, that'll be sick. So it's up to you guys, but we only got 10 minutes left. Do you want to do like half of another one just so we can get through everything?
You could finish on
Oh, we just didn't get to any topics, so I don't know. It's I don't care. I'm not worried about it.
You could just finish talking about our Xbox. We can close it out. Yeah.
All right. So my thoughts, I guess overall is that I think I might be. I'm not. I don't have buyer's remorse. However, I do think maybe it sort of reinforced my my idea of like not being a launch person because of like just the sheer number of bugs I've come across. Because one of the biggest features, the quick resume on Xbox, is supposedly working on thousands of titles, but it's been disabled for certain ones, and that includes 2 of the 3 big games that I played so far.
Oh, really?
It works flawlessly on Jedi Fallen Order. I say flawlessly, but I think it crashed maybe in the background one time, so that it booted from nothing. Granted, games boot so quickly now that I mean, I'm my hair's getting blown back every time I fast travel in Assassin's Creed, or even when I just load it from a quit state, like, and just loaded a fresh instance. It's so quick. But the quick resume stopped working. There's been no communication on it the entire time, other than we're aware there's an issue, but they don't indicate which games it's disabled for. They don't have a timeline for when it'll be back up. And I mean, it sucks because it's, most of the games I've tried out so far. So for me particular, it feels like it just doesn't exist.
Right.
But that's kind of a shitty aspect of it, because that whole solid state thing is such a big part of this gen. You know what I mean? And then when games are going to start being developed with that in mind, meaning like they can, for instance, right now, if you take a game like say like Fallout 4, which has like a lot of load screens, those load screens are like hard coded into the game. So no matter how fast your hard drive is, it's still built around those load screens existing and knowing that it needs to load when it's supposed to load. So you can't change when the game's loading. That's just not how it's hard coded. So those load screens are always going to exist, even in a minimum amount of time. So when, like when you go in or out of a building in Fallout 4 and you get that like quick load screen, no matter what, that's going to be there. Even if it's only for a split second, it's always going to be there. Now moving forward, without the consoles holding anything back, they're going to start developing games with solid state drives in mind. So there will be more games where there are just physically less loading screens. Rather than really quick ones. And that's going to be really, really fucking interesting. But it just feels kind of shitty because, like, I feel like as it stands now, I just bought a beefier system to play older games on. It's almost like I bought like a pre-built PC because I can't even play any of my PS4 games on it now. You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and again, I don't regret getting the Xbox. but it feels like it's something in retrospect I probably could have waited on. And I wouldn't, if it was someone else who was considering it, I would honestly tell them, if you had a PS4, buy a PS5 if you can't wait. And if you already have an Xbox, just wait. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, like I think it's like not worth it, especially if you have a 1X. I mean, it's not too much different.
Yeah, I was going to ask you, is Valhalla specific to like you? Do you feel like Valhalla is specific to like next gen gaming? Like, does it feel next gen?
I think with the upgrades that exist in it, the 60 FPS and the dynamic 4K, it feels like a game that I wouldn't be able to really enjoy the way it's meant to be without a next gen system.
Okay.
But is it a system seller and a reason to jump into next gen? Absolutely fucking not.
Right.
Yeah, for PS5, Valhalla doesn't really utilize any of the haptic feedback or anything.
Oh, it doesn't. Oh.
Yeah, it just uses like
But that's also one that they're trying to sell for $70, right?
No.
No, it was only
The only companies doing that right now are Sony, Take-Two, and Activision.
Okay.
They've made the price jump, but for the time being, Microsoft and Ubisoft have not, as well as several others. It's going to be a weird thing, and you're going to notice it as we go on. EA is still not $70.
Oh,
surprisingly.
They don't deserve to be.
No.
Have you heard how bad Madden is?
I've heard.
No.
Yeah. I've heard it's brutal. But I mean,
terrible.
Yeah, but you know what? And I give EA credit for. Here's the thing, just one tiny little soapbox, and then we'll close out for the week.
Baby.
EA is not the worst of these companies, and I'd like to stand on that. Repeatedly, solid reports come out, and I'm not citing any sources because I'd have to find them, but they apparently have one of the healthiest workplaces in gaming. So for all their anti-consumer microtransaction-y bullshit that all these other companies definitely fucking do, like Activision and Take-Two,
definitely Take-Two.
They at least treat their employees much better in comparison to those companies.
Right.
So yes, it's bad for us, but all in all, I mean, not that I agree with praising corporations. EA isn't the villain that people make them out to be. So
it's kind of like, did you play Dead Space 3?
No, but that's the cool part about Xbox. I downloaded it, so I have it ready to play. Yeah, okay. I have never played it. I've only done 1 and 2.
It's always different.
Yeah, I'm gonna give it a shot, and I'll report back.
Boy, get ready.
All right, we only got 3 minutes, so we'll do our outros. What I'd like to start off first by saying is, if you're listening, thank you for supporting the relaunch. Here's the way it's gonna go. You're probably getting it on a completely new feed, so we'll figure that out, and we'd appreciate more reviews if you want, 1 through 5. I don't care. Just be honest with us. But definitely don't do 1, please. That would suck.
Don't be honest.
Don't do 1, 2, 3, or 4. Actually.
Yeah. So just 5. That's all. Just 5. Just do 5. The YouTube will be the same. I think I'm gonna clean it up and I'm gonna get rid of the old one so that way it's more like a relaunch, but that's going to be the same domain. So if you're already subscribed to that YouTube, you probably unsubscribe to it. So resubscribe. But that's going to exist in the same way. And we'll be back every week for the time being if you guys are down for that.
Hell yeah.
Cool.
We got so much to talk about.
I know. Yeah, we could easily do 2 more episodes. All right. Only a minute left. Say your names and whatever else you want and say goodbye.
All right. Follow me on Twitch, Choco Bear Gaming. Abdul.
I'm Abdul. You can follow me on Instagram, Oscar Winter Sean Penn.
I'm RJ McCarthy. And social media was bad for my health. So thank you for joining us, everybody. We'll see you back next week.
Peace.
Peace. Fuck you.
Crayola fucking model magic. Crayola fucking model magic. Crayola.